Imagine standing within the hallowed confines of an ancient temple, not merely observing its grandeur, but feeling its very stones resonate. A low hum that vibrates through your chest, a whisper that seems to emanate from nowhere, or a chanted note that amplifies, filling the entire space with an almost otherworldly power. For millennia, travelers and scholars alike have reported such phenomena in sacred structures across every continent, from the resonant chambers of Malta's hypogeum to the acoustically sophisticated pyramids of El Castillo, from the echoing halls of Karnak to the enigmatic sound mirrors of Peru. Were these remarkable sonic properties merely happy accidents of design and material? Or did ancient builders, often hailed as master engineers of stone and sky, possess a profound, perhaps even lost, understanding of acoustics? This documentary embarks on an extraordinary journey to decode the sacred sounds of the past. We will delve into the groundbreaking field of archaeoacoustics, blending cutting-edge science with archaeological mystery. We'll explore how sound wasn't just ambient noise, but an integral, deliberate force, a tool for ritual, a pathway to altered states of consciousness, a means of communal bonding, and even an instrument of power. From the silent stones of forgotten civilizations, we will coax out their secrets. Join us as we investigate the evidence, visit iconic sites, and speak with scientists who are unlocking the sonic blueprints of our ancestors. Prepare to listen to history as never before and discover if the ancient world truly housed the earliest sound engineers. For millennia, the stones of ancient temples have stood silent, their stories whispered only by the wind. But what if those whispers carried more than just the echoes of time? What if these monumental structures, from the pyramids of Egypt to the sacred complexes of the Americas, were not merely architectural marvels, but also sophisticated instruments designed to manipulate sound itself? This is the intriguing question at the heart of our journey. Were our ancient ancestors, in their profound connection to the spiritual and natural worlds, the Earth's first sound engineers? Imagine standing within a cavernous chamber, where a single clap reverberates not with a simple echo, but with a complex, almost otherworldly resonance. Or perhaps a temple where a specific tone can be sustained for an impossible duration, inducing a state of deep meditation or even altered consciousness. These aren't fables. They are documented acoustic phenomena found in countless ancient sites across the globe, from the whispering walls of certain Roman catacombs to the precise sonic feedback loops within megalithic tombs. For too long, archaeologists have focused on the tangible, the carvings, the pottery, the bones, the invisible, ephemeral realm of sound, though omnipresent in ancient life, has largely been overlooked. Yet a growing body of evidence suggests that sound was not an accidental byproduct of construction, but a deliberate, foundational element of design. It shaped rituals, amplified spiritual experiences, reinforced social hierarchies, and even influenced human physiology. These ancient builders, without oscilloscopes or computer modeling, seem to have possessed an intuitive, perhaps even empirical, understanding of acoustics that rivals modern science in its ingenuity. They harnessed reverberation, resonance, and frequency with an astonishing precision, weaving sound into the very fabric of their sacred spaces. Could the profound emotional and spiritual impact of these sites have been orchestrated, a symphony composed not just of light and shadow but of intricately sculpted sound waves? We are about to decode the sacred acoustics, and in doing so uncover a forgotten science, an unseen architecture of sound that bridges the gap between the material and the mystical. To truly appreciate the acoustic marvels of ancient temples, we must first transport ourselves to a time before the relentless din of modern life. Today, our world is a cacophony of engines, electronics, and constant chatter. But imagine an ancient world, where silence was profound, broken only by the whispers of wind, the rustle of leaves, the calls of animals, and the rhythmic beat of human activity. In such an environment, sound would not merely be ambient, it would be information, communication, and a potent connection to the unseen. For ancient cultures, sound was fundamental. It defined identity through tribal chants and communal songs, It marked time with the rhythmic striking of gongs and drums. It communicated across vast distances with horns and shouts. More profoundly, sound was the bridge between the mortal and the divine. The intonation of a prayer, the resonant hum of a sacred instrument, the collective voice of a congregation, these were not just performative acts, but direct pathways to higher realms. Shamanic drumming induced trance states, allowing communication with spirits. Priestly chants, carefully modulated, were believed to invoke deities or manifest blessings. Archaeological evidence, from ancient flutes carved from bone dating back over 40,000 years, to the elaborate acoustic setups implied by temple designs, underscores this deep reverence for the auditory. Unlike us, accustomed to filtering out endless noise, our ancestors likely possessed a heightened sensitivity to their sonic environments. Every echo, every reverberation, every shift in pitch within a sacred space would have been deeply felt, interpreted, and imbued with meaning. They understood that sound could heal, inspire, instill fear, or elicit ecstasy. They knew it could unite a community or make an individual feel utterly alone in the presence of the divine. This innate, visceral understanding of sound's power laid the groundwork for the deliberate acoustic engineering we see manifesting in their most sacred constructions, transforming mere stone into resonant vessels for spiritual experience. This profound connection to the auditory realm is the lens through which we must view the acoustic masterpieces we are about to explore. Our journey into ancient acoustic marvels begins in the heart of the Yucatan Peninsula, amidst the towering grandeur of the Mayan civilization. Here, at the magnificent site of Chichen Itza, stands El Castillo, the Temple of Kukulkan. This iconic pyramid, an astronomical calendar in stone, holds a secret that astonished archaeologists and tourists alike, an acoustic phenomenon so precise it defies belief. Stand at the base of the grand northern staircase and clap your hands. Instead of a simple echo, the sound that bounces back is the unmistakable chirp of a quetzal bird, a sacred creature to the Maya. This isn't a trick of the mind. Scientific studies have confirmed that the specific design of the pyramid's 91 steps, ascending steeply, acts as a sophisticated acoustic diffuser. The sound waves of a clap travel up the staircase, reflecting off the risers at different intervals and frequencies, compressing the echo into a highly distinct sound signature that perfectly mimics the quetzal's call. Discovered in the mid-1990s, this chirping echo has profound implications. Given the Maya's extraordinary astronomical and mathematical prowess, it's highly improbable that such a precise acoustic effect was accidental. The quetzal was deeply symbolic, representing the feathered serpent god Kukulkan, to whom the temple is dedicated. Imagine the impact on ancient pilgrims. A clap, perhaps a ritualistic gesture, eliciting a divine response from the very structure of the god's temple. It would have reinforced the sacred power of the priests, the divinity of Kukulkan, and the profound connection between the terrestrial and celestial realms. The precision required to engineer this effect, the angle of the steps, the materials, the overall geometry, points to an advanced understanding of wave mechanics, long before the modern scientific revolution. El Castillo is not just a calendar or a temple. It is a giant, playable instrument, a testament to the Maya's genius in orchestrating multi-sensory experiences that transcended the ordinary, transforming sound into a manifestation of the divine. From the open skies of the Yucatan, we descend into the silent, subterranean world of the Hal Saflieni Hypogeum in Malta. Carved meticulously from solid rock over 5,000 years ago, this UNESCO World Heritage Site is a labyrinth of chambers, passages, and ritual spaces, plunging 3 stories deep into the earth. Discovered accidentally in 1902, the Hypogeum quickly revealed itself to be a marvel of prehistoric engineering, but its most astonishing secret lay hidden in plain sound. Among its many chambers, one stands out, the Oracle Room. This elliptical space, no larger than a small cave, possesses an extraordinary acoustic property. When a deep male voice resonates at a specific frequency, around 110 to 111 Hz, The sound doesn't just echo, it vibrates through the very bones of anyone present. Participants report a profound, almost disorienting experience, a sensation of sound enveloping the entire body, leading to feelings of deep introspection, altered states of consciousness, and even visions. Modern scientific investigations, employing advanced acoustic analysis, confirm these unique resonant frequencies. The hypogeum's designers, without modern tools, carved its chambers with such precision that they acoustically amplify sounds within this narrow, powerful range. This frequency band, around 110 Hz, is particularly significant. Research suggests that exposure to sounds at this frequency can affect prefrontal cortex activity, temporarily shifting dominance from the left, analytical, to the right, emotional, intuitive, hemisphere of the brain. For ancient priests and initiates, this meant the hypogeum was a finely tuned instrument designed to facilitate trance states, enhance spiritual insight, and perhaps even induce collective mystical experiences during their rituals. Was this an accidental byproduct of excavation, or a deliberate design choice by the temple builders of the Neolithic era? Given the incredible effort invested in carving this complex, and the profound physiological effects observed, it is highly probable that the acoustics were central to its sacred function. The hypogeum wasn't just a burial site or temple. It was a sensory immersion chamber, a symphony underground, where sound itself was the conduit to the divine, a testament to an ancient understanding of psychoacoustics that we are only now beginning to grasp. From the sun-baked rock of Malta, we journey northwest to the Emerald Isle of Ireland, to a place where ancient myths and celestial alignments converge, Newgrange. Built around 3200 BCE, this megalithic passage tomb, older than the pyramids of Egypt, is world-renowned for its winter solstice illumination, where a beam of sunlight precisely penetrates its long passage to light the inner chamber. But Newgrange, it turns out, is not just a masterpiece of light engineering. It is also a testament to a sophisticated understanding of sound. While the solstice light has captivated imaginations for centuries, recent archaeoacoustic research reveals another layer of its genius. The central chamber of Newgrange, a cruciform space capped by a massive corbelled roof, exhibits remarkable acoustic properties. When sounds, particularly male vocalizations, are made within the chamber, specific resonant frequencies are strongly amplified, much like the hypogeum. Researchers have identified peak resonances between 90 to 110 Hz, a frequency band surprisingly similar to that found in Malta, and one known to have profound effects on the human brain, promoting states of deep relaxation, meditation, and even mild euphoria. Imagine the scene during a winter solstice ritual, over 5,000 years ago. As the first rays of the rising sun pierce the darkness of the passage, illuminating the sacred space, the voices of priests or community members would have filled the chamber, their chants amplified and sustained by the very stones around them. This combination of the most powerful natural light phenomenon with deeply resonant, body-altering sound would have created an overwhelming, multisensory experience. The spirits of the ancestors, the power of the returning sun, and the collective consciousness of the community would have been profoundly amplified. The chamber was not just a repository for the dead. It was a living, breathing instrument, a crucible for spiritual transformation. Newgrange suggests that the ancient builders understood how to use both light and sound as complementary tools to create a heightened sense of awe, reinforcing the spiritual significance of the solstice and bridging the gap between the mundane and the cosmic. Our journey now takes us to the heart of ancient Greece, to the hallowed slopes of Mount Parnassus, home to the most famous oracle of the classical world, Delphi. For over 1,000 years, from the 8th century BCE onwards, kings, generals, and commoners alike flocked to this sanctuary, seeking divine guidance from the Pythia, the priestess of Apollo. While the source of her prophetic trance has long been debated, often attributed to natural gas fumes seeping from geological fissures, emerging theories suggest that acoustic manipulation played a crucial, often overlooked role in enhancing her pronouncements and the overall mystic atmosphere. The Temple of Apollo, with its precise dimensions and placement, was an acoustically active space. Imagine the Pythia seated on her tripod above a chasm, inhaling faint, sweet-smelling vapors. Around her, priests would chant, burn incense, and play instruments, their sounds reverberating through the temple. Archaeologists and acousticians theorize that the architecture of the Adyton, the inner sanctuary where the Pythia delivered her prophecies, was specifically designed to create an environment of sonic disorientation and amplification. Carefully placed stone blocks, natural rock formations, and perhaps even hidden channels could have focused certain sounds, creating echoes and resonances that were not merely ambient, but psychologically impactful. If the Pythia was already in a state of altered consciousness from geological fumes, these carefully orchestrated acoustics would have amplified her experience, making her utterances seem even more otherworldly and divinely inspired. Her voice, perhaps distorted by the resonant chamber, would have taken on an almost supernatural quality. For the supplicants, waiting in an antechamber, the muffled, echoing pronouncements emanating from the Adyton would have further heightened the sense of awe and mystery. The Oracle of Delphi was not just about words. It was a complete sensory experience, a meticulously engineered stage where geology, psychology, and, crucially, sophisticated acoustic design converged to manifest the voice of the divine. It was a masterful performance, centuries in the making, designed to reinforce the authority of the oracle and the power of the gods. From the philosophical heights of Delphi, we plunge into the dark, labyrinthine depths of Chavin de Huantar in the Peruvian Andes. Flourishing between 900 and 200 BCE, Chavin was a pre-Incan ceremonial center, a place of profound transformation and terrifying divine encounter. Unlike the subtle whispers of other sites, Chavin employed sound with brutal, disorienting power, creating an environment designed to shatter the initiate's sense of reality and induce overwhelming awe or fear. Deep within the old temple, a complex network of narrow, winding passages and small chambers forms a veritable acoustical machine. The builders of Chavin created intricate water systems, channeling the roaring sound of a hidden river beneath the temple. This constant, thundering presence would have been deeply unsettling, but the true genius lay in their use of strombus conch shells. These large, meticulously carved shells were not just instruments, they were trumpets of the gods, capable of producing an extraordinarily loud, low-frequency roar. Imagine an initiate, likely under the influence of psychoactive substances, navigating the pitch-black, claustrophobic passages, the thunder of the unseen river below, the sudden blast of a conch shell, sounding like a predatory beast or a booming deity from an unseen chamber, reverberating and distorting in the stone labyrinth. The architectural design itself, with its sudden turns and varying chamber sizes, would have further manipulated these sounds, creating echoes, cancellations, and unexpected sonic blasts. This sonic assault was a deliberate psychological tool. It was designed to disorient, to overwhelm the senses, to break down the initiate's ego, and to create an undeniable, visceral experience of encountering the divine, or rather, the terrifying animalistic deities of Chavin, such as the snarling jaguar or the fanged serpent god. Chavin de Huantar represents an audacious and masterful application of acoustic engineering for ritual purposes. It demonstrates a sophisticated understanding of how sound, combined with darkness and psychoactive aids, could be used to manipulate human perception, create profound emotional states, and enforce religious authority, turning the temple into a truly transformative and terrifying spiritual ordeal. Here, sound was not a whisper. It was a roar, shattering the boundaries of the ordinary. Our journey through these ancient soundscapes brings us back to the present, to the cutting edge of scientific inquiry. How do we, with our 21st century tools, begin to unravel the acoustic mysteries embedded in structures built millennia ago? This is the realm of archaeoacoustics, a vibrant interdisciplinary field where archaeologists, acousticians, architects, and cognitive scientists collaborate to decode the sonic past. Modern investigations begin with precise measurements. Scientists use specialized microphones and sound sources to perform impulse response measurements. By introducing a sharp sound, like a pistol shot or a balloon burst, and recording the echo, they capture the unique acoustic fingerprint of a space. This data is then analyzed using sophisticated computer software, revealing detailed information about reverberation times, resonant frequencies, and how sound travels and decays within a structure. Advanced laser scanning and 3D modeling allow researchers to create virtual acoustic environments, enabling them to simulate how ancient instruments or voices would have sounded, even in structures that no longer stand in their entirety. But it's not just about physics, it's about people. Psychoacoustic analysis is crucial. This involves studying how specific frequencies and sonic environments affect human perception, emotion, and physiology. Experiments with volunteers in reconstructed or simulated ancient spaces, exposed to the identified resonant frequencies, help us understand the potential subjective experiences of ancient worshippers. From measuring brainwave activity to monitoring heart rates, scientists are building a comprehensive picture of how these ancient sonic designs could have induced trance states, heightened emotional responses, or fostered communal unity. This meticulous scientific detective work is revolutionizing our understanding of ancient civilizations. It reveals that our ancestors were not just builders of monuments, but masterful orchestrators of sensory experience, leveraging the invisible power of sound to shape belief, ritual, and consciousness. By blending rigorous scientific methodology with archaeological insight, we are slowly, methodically, reclaiming a forgotten dimension of ancient genius, allowing the stones to sing once more and revealing the true, early sound engineers of human history. Our journey into ancient sound begins with a fundamental question: how does sound behave in enclosed spaces? To truly appreciate the acoustic marvels of antiquity, we must first grasp the basic physics at play. At its heart lies the principle of resonance, the tendency of a system to oscillate with greater amplitude at some frequencies than at others. Imagine a perfectly tuned wine glass. A specific note, matching its natural frequency, can make it vibrate, even shatter. In the grand scale of an ancient temple, this same principle dictates how sound waves interact with stone, air, and space. Asterisk. Visual. Animated diagram illustrating sound waves propagating, reflecting, and interfering within an enclosed space. Show waves building up, focusing on a single frequency. Cut to a researcher gently tapping a large stone block, which emits a clear, sustained tone. Overlay text. Resonance. When a sound wave encounters a boundary, it reflects, refracts, or is absorbed. In a chamber, these reflections create complex patterns. At certain frequencies, waves can align perfectly, reinforcing each other to create standing waves, points of intense sound energy, and points of eerie stillness. Think of a guitar string. Pluck it, and you create a standing wave, producing a distinct note. Now imagine a vast temple chamber, designed not by chance, but with an intuitive understanding of how these standing waves could be manipulated. The specific size, shape, and even the surface texture of walls could be calculated, perhaps not with modern equations, but through generations of empirical observation, to create powerful, focused pockets of sound. Asterisk. Visual. Overhead architectural rendering of a temple chamber, with animated sound waves demonstrating standing wave patterns, areas of intense color for high amplitude, fading to low. Cut to a wide shot of a cavernous ancient temple interior, perhaps the hypogeum of Halsaflieni in Malta. With a single figure standing in the center, a sense of profound stillness, then a subtle hum begins to emanate. These acoustic phenomena aren't mere curiosities, they are potent tools. A low-frequency hum, below the threshold of conscious hearing, known as infrasound, can induce feelings of awe, unease, or even profound spiritual experiences. Frequencies between 95 and 110 Hz have been found in certain ancient chambers, a range that modern studies link to a sense of deep inner peace or altered states of consciousness. Did ancient builders, lacking oscilloscopes and decibel meters, nonetheless possess a profound, perhaps even sacred knowledge of these invisible forces? Could they, through trial and error, or an inherited tradition, intentionally shape space to produce these precise, resonant frequencies? The evidence suggests a fascinating yes, an architectural language spoken not in words, but in vibrations, designed to move not just air, but the human soul itself. From the intricate physics of sound, we turn to its profound impact on the human psyche. This is the realm of psychoacoustics, the study of how sound affects our perception, emotions, and even our physical state. We've all experienced it, a sudden jarring noise making us jump, or a calming melody easing our tension. But what if ancient builders understood this principle not as an incidental byproduct, but as a deliberate tool to shape consciousness, to guide worshippers into specific emotional and spiritual states? Asterisk. Visual. Split screen. One side shows a modern fMRI scan of a brain responding to auditory stimuli, with active areas highlighted in color. The other side shows a stylized reenactment of an ancient priest or shaman, eyes closed, swaying gently to an unseen sound in a dimly lit, resonant chamber. Transition to a slow-motion shot of a person's face reacting with awe and slight disorientation to an unfamiliar sound. Certain frequencies and harmonic relationships have a measurable effect on brainwave activity. For instance, binaural beats, where two slightly different frequencies are played into each. A low-frequency hum, like the 110 Hz, often found in Mesoamerican and Neolithic structures, can activate the right temporal lobe, a region associated with altered states of consciousness and spiritual experiences. It's not just about what you hear, but what your body feels. Infrasound, frequencies below 20 Hz, can cause feelings of unease, dread, or even profound spiritual awe, leading to sensations of pressure on the chest, shortness of breath, or even visual distortions. The low, guttural chanting in many traditions might have intentionally harnessed this effect, creating an environment that primed the worshipper for an encounter with the divine. Asterisk. Visual. Animated diagram, illustrating different brainwave states, alpha, theta, delta, and how specific frequencies might influence them. Cut to a wide shot of an ancient ritual reenactment inside a temple. People are swaying gently, their expressions a mix of reverence and trance. Focus on a close-up of a person's eyes, wide with wonder, a single tear slowly falling. Consider the oracle room in the hypogeum of Hal Saflieni, Malta, dating back to 3600 BC. Speaking in a deep voice here causes the sound to reverberate throughout the entire complex, creating a powerful, disembodied voice. Was this a clever acoustical trick to make the voice of the oracle seem divine, omnipresent? Or were the designers tapping into something even deeper, using sound to transcend ordinary perception, to facilitate a direct communion with the sacred? The implications are staggering. Ancient temples might have been sophisticated instruments, not just for shelter and worship, but for playing the human mind, carefully tuned to induce states of ecstasy, revelation, or profound healing. This wasn't merely architecture, it was mind sculpting, a forgotten science of manipulating consciousness through the very air we breathe. To shape sound as profoundly as we've seen, ancient builders needed more than just intuition. They needed a sophisticated toolkit of materials and architectural forms. Every element, from the type of stone to the geometry of a chamber, played a crucial role in creating desired acoustic effects. This wasn't accidental, it was deliberate design, a mastery of materials that often predates our modern understanding. Asterisk. Visual. Time-lapse showing ancient builders meticulously carving and placing large stone blocks. Close-up on the intricate details of ancient stone-cutting marks. Cut to a modern architect or acoustic engineer examining a sample of porous ancient stone with a magnifying glass. Consider the sheer variety of building materials available to ancient civilizations. Limestone, a common choice for temples across Egypt and Mesoamerica, is known for its porosity, which can absorb higher frequencies while allowing lower frequencies to resonate. Basalt, often used in volcanic regions, is dense and highly reflective, perfect for projecting sound. Sandstone, particularly found in ancient Indian cave temples, offers a different acoustic signature. The very texture of a wall, whether smoothly polished or intricately carved, could alter how sound waves behaved, either scattering them evenly or reflecting them sharply. It speaks to an incredible empirical knowledge passed down through generations of master craftsmen who understood how to tune a building with its very fabric. Asterisk, visual, cross-section animation of a temple wall showing sound waves interacting with different materials, one side showing absorption by porous stone, another showing reflection from dense, polished stone. Cut to a detailed shot of the intricate carvings on the walls of an ancient Indian cave temple, e.g., Ellora caves, with light playing off the textures. Beyond materials, architectural forms were paramount. Curved walls, vaulted ceilings, and circular chambers act like giant acoustic lenses, focusing sound to specific points or distributing it evenly throughout a space. The famous whispering galleries of St. Paul's Cathedral, though medieval, demonstrate this principle perfectly. A whisper on one side can be heard clearly on the other, thanks to the dome's precise curvature. Ancient structures, such as the elaborate domes of the Pantheon in Rome, or the carefully shaped corbelled vaults in Mayan temples, harnessed these principles. Small antechambers could act as echo chambers, amplifying a chant, while strategically placed niches might absorb unwanted reverberations. Even the alignment of structures with celestial bodies, often seen as purely astronomical, could have had acoustic implications, capturing and resonating specific environmental sounds, or creating unique soundscapes at solstices or equinoxes. This wasn't just about constructing monumental buildings. It was about sculpting sound itself, using stone and space as their instruments. With an understanding of the physics, the psychoacoustic effects, and the architectural methods, we must now ask the most profound question: why? Why would ancient civilizations invest such monumental effort and ingenious design into crafting these intricate soundscapes? The answer, woven into the fabric of their societies, lies at the intersection of ritual, power, and the profound human yearning for the divine. Asterisk. Visual. Dramatic reenactment of an ancient priest or ruler standing on a raised platform in a grand temple, addressing a silent, reverent crowd. Focus on the impact of their voice, perhaps subtly enhanced by the acoustics, causing the crowd's expressions to shift from anticipation to awe. Slow-motion shots of individuals in the crowd, their faces captivated. Ancient temples were not merely buildings, they were cosmograms, microcosms designed to connect heaven and earth. Within these sacred spaces, intentionally crafted soundscapes were crucial for enhancing religious rituals. Imagine a priest's chant, amplified and transformed by the resonant chamber, making his voice seem not his own, but that of a deity. The low, resonant frequencies could induce a trance-like state, blurring the line between the physical and the spiritual, making the communal experience incredibly intense and unifying. For a community, hearing the voice of the gods emanate from the very stones of their temple would solidify belief, reinforce social cohesion, and deepen their spiritual connection. Asterisk. Visual. Reenactment of a communal ritual with chanting and drumming inside an ancient temple. The sound design emphasizes deep, resonant tones. Show the collective effect on the participants, swaying, eyes closed, hands raised. Cut to a close-up of a carved relief depicting a deity with subtle sound wave effects radiating from it. But beyond spiritual communion, acoustics served a very practical purpose, asserting power. A ruler or priest whose voice commanded not just attention, but seemed to vibrate through the very ground, would wield immense authority. The ability to make oneself heard by vast crowds, or to create disembodied, awe-inspiring sounds, was a direct demonstration of divine favor and control. In an age without loudspeakers, acoustically engineered spaces were the ultimate tools for mass communication and propaganda, amplifying a leader's message and projecting an aura of almost supernatural command. From the grand processions of Egyptian pharaohs to the oracular pronouncements in Greek sanctuaries, the manipulation of sound was integral to the maintenance of order, the reinforcement of belief systems, and the projection of divine-sanctioned power. The temples weren't just silent witnesses to history. They were active participants, instruments playing the score of ancient human belief, designed to evoke, to command, and to connect with the very essence of the divine. Beyond grand rituals and the assertion of power, the purpose of acoustically designed spaces in ancient temples might have extended to a deeply personal and therapeutic realm, healing and meditation. Long before modern medicine, ancient cultures intuitively understood the profound connection between sound, mind, and body, harnessing specific vibrations for well-being and altered states of consciousness. Visual, ethereal shot of a figure in white robes, sitting in a meditative pose inside a serene ancient temple chamber. Gentle light illuminates their face, conveying peace. Subtle visual effects of sound waves, like soft, pulsating light, emanate from the walls, gently washing over the figure. Ambient, calming soundscape. Evidence suggests that specific frequencies, particularly those found to resonate within the human body, were intentionally created in certain temple chambers. The 110 to 111 Hz frequency, often found in the ancient Irish passage tomb of Newgrange and numerous Mayan structures, is associated with a shift in brain hemisphere dominance, activating the right hemisphere, which is linked to intuition, holistic thinking, and a deeper sense of self. This isn't just a psychological effect. It's physiological. Such frequencies can lower heart rate, reduce stress hormones, and induce a profound state of relaxation, making them ideal for deep meditation or even therapeutic sessions. Imagine entering a chamber where the very air vibrates with a frequency designed to calm your nervous system, allowing you to access deeper states of awareness. Visual, animated diagram showing sound waves interacting with the human body, perhaps focusing on a chakra system or cellular vibration. Cut to a reenactment of an ancient healing ritual. A robed figure gently passes a resonant object, e.g., a crystal bowl or a carved instrument, over a person lying down in a serene temple setting. Focus on the expressions of calm and relief. Sound was likely used as a form of ancient medicine. Many cultures had sound-based healing practices, using chants, drums, or resonant objects to treat illness or emotional imbalance. The resonant properties of certain temple chambers could have amplified these effects, turning the entire space into a giant therapeutic instrument. These were not just places for collective worship, but also for individual seekers, a sanctuary where the distressed could find solace, where the sick could seek healing, and where spiritual aspirants could achieve profound meditative states. The temples, in this light, were not just houses of the gods, but houses of healing, their stones singing a silent, therapeutic song, guiding the human spirit towards tranquility and self-discovery. It paints a picture of ancient architects as not just engineers, but as profound, holistic healers, using the invisible power of sound to mend the body and uplift the soul. While previous examples hint at intuitive acoustic mastery, some ancient structures provide undeniable, tangible proof of intentional sound engineering. The ancient Greek and Roman amphitheaters. These colossal open-air venues stand as a testament to a highly sophisticated understanding of acoustics, centuries before modern science codified its principles. Here, the purpose was clear: to ensure every word, every note, every dramatic utterance reached tens of thousands of spectators, perfectly audible and intelligible. Visual, sweeping drone shot over the ancient theater of Epidaurus in Greece, showcasing its remarkable symmetrical design and perfect semicircular seating. Cut to a detailed shot of the perfectly cut limestone seats, followed by a wide shot of actors on stage with no visible microphones, their voices projected across the vast space. Take the theater of Epidaurus in Greece, built in the 4th century BC. Often cited as an acoustic marvel, a pin dropped on stage can reportedly be heard in the highest seats, some 60 rows away. Modern research has revealed the genius behind this phenomenon. The limestone seats themselves, arranged in a precise logarithmic curve, act as natural acoustic filters. They absorb low-frequency background noise, such as the murmurs of the crowd, while reflecting high-frequency sounds, like human voices, directly to the audience. This isn't just clever building, it's acoustic filtering on an architectural scale, creating a noise gate effect that predates electronic audio engineering by millennia. The precisely angled seating tiers, coupled with the natural slope of the land, formed a giant horn, projecting sound outwards with incredible clarity. Asterisk. Visual. Animated diagram illustrating sound waves propagating from a central stage in Epidaurus, showing how the tiered seating reflects high frequencies upwards and absorbs low frequencies. Overlay text. Acoustic filtering. Cut to a reenactment of a Roman orator addressing a vast crowd in the Colosseum, his voice carrying clearly, inspiring emotion. Roman amphitheaters, while often larger and designed for different spectacles, also demonstrated advanced acoustic principles. The Colosseum, capable of holding 50,000 to 80,000 spectators, used complex systems of awnings, velarium, that not only provided shade, but also influenced sound reflection. The sheer scale and consistent acoustic performance across countless Greek and Roman theatrical sites demonstrate a standardized, repeatable engineering knowledge. These structures were not accidental wonders. They were the product of skilled designers who understood sound reflection, absorption, and projection with startling precision. They confirm that ancient civilizations possessed an undeniable expertise in manipulating sound, laying a crucial foundation for our understanding of their even more mysterious sacred acoustic designs. If they could engineer sound for entertainment, what capabilities did they bring to the sacred? Having witnessed the undeniable acoustic mastery of Greek and Roman amphitheaters, we now turn our gaze to the land of pharaohs, to the enigmatic temples of ancient Egypt. Here the role of sound moved beyond public performance, delving deep into the sacred heart of ritual, initiation, and the evocation of deities. Were Egyptian temples, with their labyrinthine passages and monumental chambers, also designed as sophisticated acoustic instruments? Asterisk. Visual. Drone shot flying over the immense Karnak temple complex at sunrise, revealing its scale and mystery. Cut to an interior shot of a dark, narrow passage within an Egyptian tomb, flickering torchlight creating long shadows, a sense of anticipation. Consider the Karnak temple complex, a sprawling city of gods built over 2 millennia. Many of its halls and sanctuaries possess distinct acoustic properties. In certain chambers, a specific chant or tone can create powerful reverberations, making the very air hum with energy. Researchers have found evidence of resonant frequencies within the Great Hypostyle Hall, a forest of colossal columns. Was this resonance simply a byproduct of grand architecture, or was it meticulously engineered to enhance the priest's chants to make the voice of the god seem to emanate from the stone idols themselves? During elaborate initiation rites, novices might have traversed acoustically charged passages, experiencing disorientation or awe as sounds were manipulated around them, preparing them for sacred knowledge. Asterisk. Visual. Reenactment of an Egyptian priest, actor in costume, standing before a large statue of a deity in a dimly lit temple chamber, chanting in a deep, resonant voice. The camera focuses on the statue's face, with subtle visual effects suggesting the sound is emanating from it, making it seem alive. Cut to detailed shots of hieroglyphs depicting ancient musical instruments or rituals involving sound. The Temple of Abydos, with its enigmatic Osirion, provides further clues. This subterranean structure, often associated with rebirth rituals, features massive stone blocks, While direct acoustic studies are ongoing, the sheer mass and arrangement of the megaliths suggest a potential for unique resonant properties, perhaps creating infrasonic frequencies that induced altered states during sacred ceremonies. Even specific statues, when struck or played, might have produced particular tones, serving as ancient lithophones, stone instruments integrated into the architectural fabric. The acoustical environment of these temples was not incidental. It was an integral part of their function, a carefully orchestrated symphony designed to guide the worshipper through thresholds of consciousness, to blur the line between mortal and divine, and to manifest the very presence of the gods. In the temples of Egypt, sound was not just heard, it was felt, it was experienced, it was believed. From the well-documented rituals of ancient Egypt, we now journey to the very dawn of monumental architecture, to a site so ancient it challenges our understanding of human civilization itself. Göbekli Tepe, in southeastern Turkey. Dating back over 11,000 years, predating agriculture and pottery, this enigmatic site of T-shaped megaliths is considered the world's oldest known temple. The question we now face is audacious. Could even these earliest monumental builders have possessed an understanding of sound in their structures, leaving us the earliest echoes of sacred acoustics? Asterisk. Visual. Sweeping drone shot over the archaeological site of Göbekli Tepe at sunrise, emphasizing its remote, windswept location and the circular arrangements of massive T-pillars. The light is harsh and ancient. Göbekli Tepe consists of several circular enclosures, each featuring massive T-shaped limestone pillars, some weighing up to 20 tons, intricately carved with animal reliefs. While direct evidence of acoustic design, like the deliberate filtering in Epidaurus, is far less tangible here, the sheer scale and circular arrangement beg speculation. Could the concentric circles of megaliths have acted as primitive resonating chambers? The spaces between the pillars, the smooth surfaces of the carved stone, the enclosed nature of the structures, all these elements could have contributed to unique sonic environments. Imagine early human gatherings within these enclosures, accompanied by drumming, chanting, or the calls of animal skin instruments. The very architecture might have amplified these sounds, creating a powerful, immersive experience for hunter-gatherer communities. Asterisk. Visual. Close up on the intricate animal carvings on a T-pillar at Göbekli Tepe, with sunlight emphasizing their detail. Cut to a speculative artistic rendition of early humans gathered within a Göbekli Tepe enclosure, chanting or drumming, with subtle visual effects of sound waves emanating from the stone pillars themselves, suggesting resonance. Archaeologists are only just beginning to uncover the full extent of Göbekli Tepe. While it's premature to declare its builders early sound engineers, in the same vein as the Romans, the very act of constructing such monumental structures implies a profound connection to the landscape and the cosmos. If, as we've explored, sound was so integral to later sacred sites, it's not unreasonable to consider its potential importance in these foundational temples. Perhaps the sounds of the wind whistling through the pillars, or the echoes of human voices within their ancient circles, were part of the sacred experience. Göbekli Tepe stands as a profound reminder that human ingenuity, spiritual drive, and a deep engagement with the sensory world have roots far deeper than we previously imagined. It opens the possibility that the quest to harness sound for sacred purposes is not just an ancient tradition, but a primordial human endeavor, stretching back to the dawn of civilization itself. Our journey through ancient temples and their enigmatic acoustics paints a vivid picture of forgotten wisdom. Yet it's crucial to ground our exploration in critical thinking, to address the lingering question that shadows every grand archaeological claim. Could these sonic marvels simply be accidental? The Skeptic's Corner challenges us to consider whether we, with our modern fascination, are perhaps projecting intent where none truly existed. Imagine a world without sophisticated acoustic modeling software. How would ancient builders, lacking our scientific lexicon of frequencies and decibels, deliberately engineer such precise sonic environments? Critics argue that many observed phenomena are nothing more than the inevitable byproducts of constructing vast, enclosed stone structures. Any large chamber, particularly one built from hard, reflective materials like granite or limestone, will naturally exhibit reverberation. Think of a cavern or even a modern concrete parking garage. Their inherent acoustics are often striking, yet entirely unplanned. Consider the immense scale of structures like the Great Pyramid of Giza or the Hypogeum of Hal Saflieni. Their sheer volume and the reflective nature of their interior surfaces are almost guaranteed to produce interesting acoustic effects. Could the famous orchestra pit, resonance within the Chichen Itza Caracol, for instance, be less about intentional design and more about the natural acoustic properties of a spiraling domed space? The argument posits that while the effects are real, the nanigitis behind them is where the line blurs. Ancient Masons were brilliant structural engineers, yes, but did their empirical knowledge extend to manipulating sound in a way we'd call acoustic design? Furthermore, the challenge of proving intent is monumental. How do we differentiate between an echo that happens to be present and an echo that was meticulously designed? Without ancient blueprints detailing acoustic specifications or historical texts explicitly describing sound engineering techniques, much of our understanding remains interpretive. We rely on modern scientific measurements, but these can only tell us what the sound does, not why it was built that way. A specific resonant frequency might be observed, but was it a happy accident of a builder pursuing structural stability, or the precise outcome of an acoustic master plan? This perspective reminds us to approach these mysteries with both wonder and rigorous scientific inquiry. It compels us to consider simpler explanations before leaping to conclusions of advanced, forgotten sciences. The burden of proof in this fascinating debate rests heavily on demonstrating clear, undeniable evidence of deliberate acoustic manipulation, beyond what natural physics would dictate in any large stone construction. The question remains, are we hearing the intentional whispers of ancient sound engineers, or merely the natural echoes of time-worn stone? The skeptic's arguments are potent, reminding us that the line between fascinating observation and definitive proof is often blurred. Yet, the debate doesn't end there. It evolves into a nuanced exploration of a profound question. Are the acoustic marvels of the ancients merely happy accidents, unintentional magic, or the meticulously crafted outcomes of a forgotten master plan? Advocates for unintentional magic suggest that ancient builders, through generations of trial and error, might have stumbled upon effective acoustic forms without fully understanding the underlying scientific principles. They observed what worked. Perhaps a certain dome shape amplified a chanting voice, or a specific chamber geometry created an eerie resonance and replicated it. This empirical knowledge, passed down through apprenticeship, could explain why certain acoustic effects appear consistently across cultures and eras. It's a pragmatic, evolutionary approach to building, where sacred spaces simply had to feel right, sound powerful, and facilitate communal experience, even if the how was intuitive rather than theoretical. But then we encounter structures that seem to defy mere accident. Consider the Kukulkan Pyramid at Chichen Itza, built by the Maya around 800–1000 AD. When a person claps at the base of its grand staircase, the echo returns as the distinct chirp of a quetzal bird. Extensive research by acousticians like David Lubman suggests this isn't random. The specific dimensions of the steps and the angle of the pyramid appear to transform the broadband clap into a narrow-band frequency range, mimicking the bird's call. Could such a precise acoustic illusion be purely accidental? Or what about the Neolithic passage tombs of Ireland, like Newgrange, 3200 BC, where certain chambers seem tuned to human vocal frequencies, creating profound, almost trance-inducing resonance for those within? The master plan theory posits that ancient builders possessed a deep, experiential knowledge of sound, honed over millennia. While they may not have had oscilloscopes, they understood the relationship between shape, material, and sound. They weren't designing for concert halls, but for ritual, for spiritual immersion, for connecting with the cosmos. For them, sound was not just a physical phenomenon, but a sacred force. They might have used simple tools like rhythmic chanting, drumming, or even water to test and refine their acoustic spaces, much like a modern sound engineer uses pink noise. The consistent appearance of whispering galleries in Romanesque cathedrals or specific resonant frequencies in megalithic structures hints at a deliberate, if unwritten, acoustic vocabulary. Ultimately, the debate acknowledges a blend of empirical evidence and interpretation. The sounds are real, measurable. The question is the degree of intentionality. Was it a series of happy accidents, refined over centuries into a potent, yet uncodified, acoustic wisdom? Or was there a sophisticated, perhaps esoteric, understanding of sound engineering that we are only now beginning to decode? From the whispers of ancient skepticism to the compelling arguments for deliberate design, our journey reveals a profound truth. Whether accidental or intentional, these ancient acoustic marvels possess an undeniable wisdom. And in a fascinating twist, modern architectural acoustics is now looking back, rediscovering and applying principles observed in these millennia-old structures to design the innovative spaces of today. For centuries, Western acoustic design largely relied on mathematical formulas developed since the 19th century, often resulting in soundproofing and absorption to control noise. But a growing movement in contemporary architecture recognizes the power of natural, live acoustics, spaces where sound isn't just controlled, but enhanced. This shift draws direct inspiration from ancient precedents. Take, for instance, the open-air Greek theaters, such as the Great Theater of Epidaurus, built in the 4th century BC. Its perfect acoustics allowed every word spoken on stage to be heard clearly by audiences of up to 14,000, without any electronic amplification. Modern architects are now studying Epidaurus's precise geometry, its use of seating risers as natural sound diffusers, and its surrounding landscape for its lessons in natural sound projection and clarity. Similarly, the resonant chambers and natural reverberation found in ancient temples are informing the design of modern concert halls, recording studios, and even public gathering spaces. Architects like Frank Gehry, famous for his Guggenheim Museum Bilbao, and acoustic specialists are employing complex, nonlinear geometries, often reminiscent of ancient organic forms, to achieve sophisticated sound diffusion and a rich acoustic bloom. They're moving away from purely flat, absorptive surfaces towards textured walls, curved ceilings, and carefully angled panels that scatter sound waves in ways that mimic the intuitive wisdom of old stone and carved rock. This isn't just about aesthetics, it's about sustainability and human experience. Ancient builders used local, natural materials, stone, wood, earth, which inherently possess specific acoustic properties. Modern green architecture is embracing this, looking for ways to create naturally resonant and comfortable sound environments without relying heavily on energy-intensive mechanical systems. We're learning that a deep understanding of material science, combined with an appreciation for natural geometries, can create environments that resonate not just with sound, but with the human spirit. From the precise tuning of ancient ceremonial spaces to the natural amplification of an amphitheater, our ancestors left us a profound legacy. Today, their unwritten knowledge is being translated into blueprints for the 21st century, proving that true ingenuity is timeless, echoing across millennia to shape the very soundscapes of our future. Our journey through ancient temples' early sound engineers has been a fascinating exploration into the hidden sonic dimensions of history. We began by asking if ancient builders possessed an advanced understanding of acoustics, and while the exact nature of their knowledge remains a subject of ongoing debate, the evidence we've uncovered points to an undeniable, profound ingenuity. From the chirp of the Quetzal bird at Chichen Itza, precisely engineered by the Maya over 1,000 years ago, to the deep, resonant frequencies within Ireland's Neolithic passage tombs, capable of inducing altered states of consciousness, These are not mere coincidences. They are the echoes of a deep empirical understanding of sound, geometry, and material science. Whether through meticulous experimentation, generations of observation, or perhaps an esoteric knowledge lost to time, our ancestors built structures that were not only visually stunning, but also acoustically potent, shaping spiritual experiences, communal rituals, and the very fabric of their societies. They may not have had our scientific terminology, but they understood how to manipulate sound for purpose. They harnessed natural reverberation, directed whispers, and tuned chambers to resonate with the human voice or the rhythms of the cosmos. For them, sound was not just a byproduct of construction. It was an integral part of ritual, a conduit to the divine, a tool for healing, and a powerful element of collective experience. This was sound engineering in its most profound ancient form. Today, as modern architects and acousticians rediscover these principles, we gain not just practical design solutions, but a deeper appreciation for the holistic intelligence of ancient cultures. They understood the interconnectedness of space, sound, and human perception in ways we are only beginning to grasp again. The enduring harmony of their creations reminds us that knowledge takes many forms, and true genius transcends the ages. The lost sounds of the past continue to resonate, inviting us to listen more closely, to wonder more deeply, and to continue the timeless quest to uncover the full spectrum of human ingenuity, etched not just in stone, but in the very air that breathes through these sacred spaces. The symphony of ancient wisdom continues, waiting for us to truly hear its timeless song. Our journey through the resonant chambers and echoing halls of antiquity has unveiled a compelling truth. The sonic properties of ancient temples were rarely accidental. From the deliberate resonance of Neolithic burial mounds to the complex harmonic amplification within Mayan pyramids, the evidence overwhelmingly suggests a sophisticated, intentional design. Our ancestors, lacking spectrum analyzers or advanced computing, possessed an intuitive and profound understanding of sound's power to shape human experience. They crafted spaces that could induce trance, foster communal cohesion, amplify ritual, and connect the earthly with the divine, all through the masterful manipulation of acoustic phenomena. The emerging field of archaeoacoustics is just beginning to scratch the surface of this forgotten knowledge, revealing a new dimension to the ingenuity of ancient civilizations. As we continue to listen to the whispers of the past, we gain not only a deeper appreciation for their architectural and spiritual genius, but also a renewed understanding of the enduring, mysterious connection between sound, space, and the human spirit. The echoes of their sacred sounds continue to reverberate, inviting us to keep listening, to keep learning, and to unlock the secrets that still resonate through time.